Welcome to the Attuned Guidance Show with Brenda Lee Matosh, where you step into the power of creating your reality and become the main character of your life's script. This is your invitation to break free from outdated identities and reconnect with the truth of who you are. Here, we explore the quantum field of infinite potential, alive, responsive, and always communicating with you, guiding you to create a life aligned with your soul. Each episode, we awaken your inner wisdom, expand your awareness, and remind you that you are not just living your life, you are creating it. If you're ready to trust your intuition, embody your authentic expression, and bring your highest vision to life, you're in the right place. Let's awaken, create, and rise together. The Attuned Guidance Show starts now. Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Dr. Pat, and I get to take this amazing ride of life with Brenda Lee. This is a very, very, very important episode. It is one of the things that I believe most people are aware of, that it exists, and very few people are aware that it matters and that what it can do to attract your life, the life you want, hello, and maybe the life you don't want. Today's episode is Your Vibration Matters, how your vibration attracts your life. This is what we're going to talk about today. It is more than just a transformative journey. You know, I look at this as almost like a magnet. I remember as a kid when I was first introduced to a magnet. I mean, you remember being a kid, Brenda Lee, and you're introduced to something and you're thinking, what? How is that thing sticking to this thing?
Yeah.
And so part of life shows us things that stick, but we don't get the explanation of the principles of vibration. We know it, we understand it, we feel it. How many of you have little massage machines that you lay on because your back hurts? Why do you do that? What is it about that? Or better yet, what kind of music do you listen to? How do you feel after you listen to Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You? Try not crying with that video. Brenda Lee, let's take this thing on. Vibration matters, doesn't it? But do you agree with me? I think people understand what vibration is, but they have no idea how it works.
Yeah, you're right, Dr. Pat. It's because we're on autopilot, right? And I love the way you just brought up that analogy of the magnet and what sticks, because we're supposed to experience life through the vibrational field, the quantum field. But sometimes things stick too long. We hold on to things too long. And when it sticks too long, we're missing out on the evolutionary process of our soul's wisdom that's guiding us to the next phase, right? The next
Yeah.
opportunity, the next person. And so I love that you just came up with that. I always love that there's always like a good synergy with us. And I just got to give you a title and then it just flows, right? This
Yeah.
is vibration in motion right here on this show, even with your opening, right? It's just letting us know that, we are the magnet. I don't chase anything anymore. I attract everything. And when I say I attract everything, it's good, bad, and ugly. It has to be everything.
I'm with you.
Yeah, because I can't tell the universe, show me who I am, help me get through the evolutionary process, and then be controlling on how it's coming in and who it's being delivered through, right?
Yeah. You know, it's so interesting we're talking about this. I want to talk about this in terms of who we are and the things that are unseen to us. And this is where you're going to jump in here and talk about the frequency of our thoughts, because
Yeah.
we don't actually think our thoughts are vibrational. All right. So I started a post on X, Twitter X.
Yeah.
But I post differently. I do comment on other things I see, but I have this tendency to create a graphic and ask questions, right? So I started to do that a lot. And I'm a researcher, so I'll create an image or a graphic and it'll have some information, but it looks kind of cool. And sometimes I get a little edgy. with my post, especially when I'm talking about my research and integrity and different things that I care about. And I have to tell you, I have been an advocate and an athlete myself, still am, of women's sports. So there are some things that hit me harder than others. People ask me, why don't I comment on politics? My answer always is, that's my next lifetime. But let's talk about these frequencies, how they enter through this invisible space we call our thoughts. And and do they mean something important to vibration?
So, if I could just give you, when you're standing at the ocean and you're watching the waves crash onto the shore, there's something magical, even when they're big waves or little waves, or you have, a glass smooth surface on the ocean. You don't question how the water's moving or how it got there. That's energy and motion authentically, just moving through the cosmos. And so, as humans, we're that same energy as the water, but we're conditioned when we're very young to do things this way, and this way, the way my grandparents did it, the way my parents did it, the teacher. And so we're just completely overloaded with this program that creates our mind. And that's okay. That's part of the evolutionary experience, is to go through life. We come into the body not remembering who we are, why we're on this darn earth. And then we have to experience all that is and ever will be. And then we come to a place and a time in our evolutionary process, some people call it new chapter, new cycle, all the same thing, where we have to start being accountable for what we're thinking, what we're saying to ourselves and others, what the emotions really mean that we're holding in our body, because the body's attracting, the body's the magnet, right? It's almost like the mind is the the architect that's drawing it, and the
Yeah,
body, whatever the mind tells it, the body brings it in. And so you get to a point where you want to know and understand how the world works. That's me. And once you figure it out, it's magical, because you can't deny that you have a big, important part of your life. And you're not just here to exist and be the way you've been and blame it on everybody from your past,
yeah,
right? That you can actually look at yourself and go, I am a powerful being. And I was created from the same creator that created everything. And if I look around and see all the good in the world, I'm a part of that too. So if this is politics and this is sports and these things aren't my passion, they're playing out in the field, I'm fine with it.
yeah,
I don't need to get involved in that. I now am aware of the entire world is a big show, and I'm going to create what I want my play and movie to look like. And
yeah,
I'm the author and the writer and the main character.
yeah. 23 years ago, we were surrounded with a new kind of talk radio back then, it was called. Still
Yeah.
call it talk radio.
Yeah, right.
But it was a different kind of energy. It was angry talk. You couldn't do a show except for maybe Oprah, but even Oprah back in the day really had to do some edgy things. But you weren't going to get syndicated. You weren't going to be on any of the radio networks unless you do what I did, and I paid for every dime of airtime I ever had. But it was different. And, I had the opportunity through a wrong phone number to actually say yes. And once I said yes, I just started to talk about the things that were passionate. And the funny thing about it is, this crust busting thing I created, even though it sounds a little negative, was the funnest thing I ever done. And so I didn't know that I was entering a realm, myself and 5 other women at the time, that didn't exist yet. But it's to your point, it wasn't a marketing plan. It wasn't somebody giving me a blueprint. It was an energy and a passion that I have for optimism. See, there's a reason they call me Pollyanna Patty,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what we don't know, and this is my question for you, that, I guess the question is, what if these vibrations, what if the energy, whatever they are, emit and shape the reality for us in ways, one, like I said, we're not aware of, we can't imagine. But what if we could harness this energy to shape it? Just because I decided to talk positive talk doesn't mean I was fully aware till maybe 2 decades later of what you're talking about.
Yeah, so look, first of all, anybody that has negative talk and criticism and is living in fear, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's when you decide that you want to experience something different is where your power comes in. And so everybody's getting everything they want all the time. They just are blaming something on the outer for providing it. And it's not anything out there, it's within you, and what's within you surrounds you. So the universe is neutral. And whatever you put out, your little beacon, your little signal, your vibration, your words, your thoughts, whether negative or positive, the universe just shows up for you. It rearranges everything in your favor because it loves you, because you are the creator of your reality. And the universe would never go against the creator of their reality because you have that much power. So, this show is about teaching people that you're not wrong and I'm not right, and
Right.
that positive frequencies isn't the only way to live. We're living in a world where there's a lot of things happening. But
Yeah.
how much are you attaching your magnet to letting that information stick to you? Because if you do, you continually are feeding in the outer in, then you're messing up your vibration to attract the things you want, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you've got to keep everything clear here and just observe everything out there. Don't touch it, but be aware of it and don't criticize it, and don't criticize others that are stuck in their mold, because they get to choose at any moment how they want to live their life. We need to remove guilt and shame from this planet.
I
Everything
agree.
is, everything just is, right? And so when you were talking about in the past and you were talking about the old shows, what if those shows where everything was amplified in the audience, um, for that host, what if that's the only time that people could get out of the house and use their throat chakra, and it just came out in anger because they vibrate in fear at home?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so those shows at that time in that era were perfect for people to use their voice. Now we're just learning that we don't have to use our voice in anger and fear, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But
That's what I'm here to guide.
well, let's take it to the next level, because I think this is where the confusion is for people. This may be a new idea for people, or it may be a new idea they're discovering about themselves, right?
Yeah,
This may
yeah.
be an idea. But here's the thing that I don't want to give my audience a false impression of who I am or my personality. Starting a network on human potential doesn't mean the sun is going to shine every day. Our hosts talk about a array of things. When it comes to certain things I'm passionate about and I'm an advocate about, there's a different side of me that will show up. If you ever catch any of my Unstuckable shows where we're taking on conversations, for example, about abuse, right? Growing up in an alcoholic family, sexual abuse. That's a different energy for me. And I know I'm putting that energy out. And so I'd love for you to walk people through this idea of energy. Now, I will also tell you, if you know anything about me, which I think you do, there are times that I have climbed up the back of a softball backstop because I didn't agree with the call that the referee made. Of course, I was like a lot younger then. But to your point, it's not good. It's not bad.
Look, when we dismantled this monkey mind program, okay, when it starts to fall away and it no longer defines you and your intention is good, I want to learn about myself and I want to do this show about abuse and I want to speak the truth and bring it out to the forefront, but I'm not going to bring that story home with me and have dinner with
Right.
it,
That's
right?
right. Yes.
And when you're passionate about a sport you're playing, you have to remember that if everything just is all the time with no right or wrong, guilt or shame, then you should never feel bad about anything you do because in that moment, there's energy moving through you to teach you something about yourself. Now, if you're projecting it and jumping on the back of somebody else, they might not like that. But in that moment, there's a mirror. The two of you have a vibrational perfect match that's divine in that
Yeah.
moment for the two of you to see how you're going to handle your side of the mirror. And so, there's nothing wrong with being passionate. We don't want to get violent, but don't feel bad about the fire moving through you. Generally, it's our soul trying to say, knock, knock, human. I came here to experience all that is and ever will be. Why are you restricting me? Why are you making me feel bad because I spoke up? Why are you making me feel bad because I asked for a boundary? I don't want to feel bad about anything. So, you can only vibrate with a perfect match on a frequency of another human being equal or less to you.
Yeah.
That's just how energy is working, right? You're a magnet. So I don't regret anything I've ever done. And I'm not mad at one single person I've ever come in contact with because now I can look back with a higher view and go, the entire time they were matching something in me for me to see myself.
Yeah.
Dr. Pat, all we're ever doing is looking at ourselves in
There's
others.
no question.
There's no question. And
There's
that's
no
really hard
question.
for people to live. But if you practice it, you'll get there. I promise you. And I'm not saying doing it 24 hours a day, but if you see yourself in every single person that you come in contact with and you see your mirror, they're literally on your side. Every other human is on your side, and the universe is supporting it with the frequency and energy that you're emitting out. And when your soul is said, I've had enough of this, you're going to get triggered. You're going to get irritated. Anger or something's going to come up in your body. You're going to feel it. And what are you going to do with it?
Yeah. I mean, let's
Because
break this
that's where
down.
the magic is.
Let's break this down because you have some ideas for people and how to help them with this. I reacted to something that happened over the past 3 weeks because number one, I work with people that are in recovery and addiction. Let's
Okay.
just say that all kinds. Like, okay, drug. The latest now is gambling, right? I'm working with a couple of people in recovery. I can't talk about it, but I'm just going to say I do. So an incident came up in a sport I really appreciate. And I get my client coming to me and say, why are we doing all this work? I just watched this sport who caught two players making a bet on their teams in video and have no consequences. And yet, Pat, you talked to me about that. And here was my answer. I said, well, here's the simple answer. You're not them, you're you. I'm here to help you.
The only
This
reason
other's
she saw it is because it's in her.
It's in her.
She thinks she's
Exactly.
looking at the television,
She's not.
watching players. She's not. This has been projected out of her onto the screen that she calls her life because
Exactly.
she's resisting changing it in herself. So it'll appear out here. And what she's doing is projecting, why are they doing this? No, why am I
I'm doing this.
doing this? This is the magic of the universe. The universe is all it is and ever will be, which is TV screens, movies, ads, commercials, strangers, right? A van driving by with a sign on the side that makes you go, what? Anything that is irritating you means it's stuck in you wanting to come to the surface to be witnessed and to get the teaching, right? And so, yeah, I believe that people's conscious awareness of this is expanding. These talks can plant the seeds and help people that are a little further along than growing the seed, that are actually implementing some of this stuff into their life. But if you're just got the blinders on and you're looking out all day, you're going to miss the magic of what your soul's trying to teach you for yourself, because we can't control anything out there. People, stop trying to control anything out in the world. Just
Everything.
stop it. Your life will be so much easier. Speaking from a previous control freak, right? Just stop it all. I promise you, your shoulders will drop, life will be amazing, and you won't care. You'll just observe it from afar.
I got a lesson in gratitude. Let's talk about gratitude for a minute and how that can elevate our frequency. We have a 4-H fair going on here in New Jersey,
Mm.
and a 4-H fair. Okay, a lot of the kids, I'm serious about it. They put a full year of raising a pig or doing whatever they're doing to show up at the 4-H fair. Hello, the day of the 4-H fair started, thunderstorms, rain, thunderstorms, rain, thunderstorms, rain. And so Linda loves the 4-H fairs. And so we were hearing some chit chat about it, like sidebar, right? People, neighbors, whatever. And my friend says, we need to go support these kids. So she doesn't care about the rain, the thunderstorms, wear your boots, you're going to get mud on you, who cares? These kids put a lot of time and energy in this. And I said, we got a window after my show at Brenda today. We just going to put on our little rubber shoes and we can hop over there and do that. You see, that's an aspect of a situation that changed the frequency of a
Yeah, just
lot of
be in the
conversations.
moment, right? It's not a
Yeah.
hurricane, it's not a tornado, it's just a little rainstorm, right? Our mind can make us think it's so much bigger than it is. But that's good for you to see, hey, just give the gratitude to the kids for showing up, and grab an
That's right.
umbrella and grab a raincoat. That's why they make umbrellas and raincoats and boots, to use them. Hello. And so be in the moment, because you watching those kids, seeing that people are showing up, you're going to see the spark in them, right? That's an energy exchange to go in full support no matter what happens,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we're coming home to, is to support each other even in our storms, our internal storms,
I know.
right? We have an internal storm going
Talk
on.
about how we can align our energy, because I think this is where we started a little bit with from, and aligning that energy, because that magnet experience when I was a young kid, I mean, I was all full blown fascination.
Yeah.
I have a little tendency, so my mom used to explain it like, honey, we couldn't get the magnets away from you. You sat there for 4 hours putting them together, pulling them apart, putting them together, pulling them apart.
Yeah.
She's right, because that was a fascination to me. I was trying to see, are they always going to go back together? It was just an interesting thing about me as
Yeah.
a kid.
Yeah.
But my mom didn't say, honey, you're stupid. Why do you keep doing that? She didn't do that.
Yeah.
So this was mindfulness on her part to align energy without even having the conversation you and I are having. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an evolutionary process. The first thing we have to start to ask is what Dr. Pat and Brenda talking about real? Do I believe that there's a cause and effect in the quantum field of the universe? Do I believe the universe is made up of energy and motion, and that I'm a part of that greater energy and motion, that I exist? My puzzle piece is important and I'm a part of it, and I get to choose, what I want. And you have to work on that belief system. And if it comes up that you don't believe in that, why don't you believe it? Do you need to research it more? Do you need to investigate it? What belief system, limiting belief system, is holding you back from learning something new, hearing something for the first time that you know nothing about, and figuring out how to trust that to take you on a new path, right? Because people are so stuck in their ways, right? And they're in resistance all day long, unknowingly, on autopilot, right? And so the first thing is, watch your words, watch your words, because your words become your actions. And watch your actions, because that becomes your behavior, right? And your behavior becomes your habits. And your habits become your character. And your character frames your destiny.
Yeah. It
And
doesn't
if
mean
you,
we can't speak forcefully. I just want to be clear about this
no,
thing.
so again, we've
When I
removed
start to
bad,
put,
good, or
yeah,
indifferent. We've
yeah,
removed that
thank you. Let's
already.
remind
Okay.
people.
Yeah, we've removed bad, good, right, wrong,
Boom.
guilt, shame, self-criticism. Remove it. That's all fear. Fear, 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 right? And so when you remove that and you start to believe that there's something more happening in the universe other than what you can buy in the store or on that commercial or on that, Instagram feed, that there's more out there for you to experience, then that new will come in as unknown. You'll hear it for the first time. Somebody will say it for the first time. And if you believe everything happens for you and not to you, then every single person talking to you is helping you get to that next little magnet. Like you were talking about little magnets, piecing them together. You're just piecing all your magnets together to be the lighthouse, to be the beacon of, hey, I want this. But if you're not doing anything different in your everyday life except complain, then tomorrow will be yesterday, and that's okay. Most of the planet is operating tomorrow on yesterday. And that complaint will go to the next day and the next day. But if you start to just be curious, be so curious, and ask bigger questions, then you're going to start to see that, there's more out there. And knowledge is not enough, because a person, can know what's right and still not do it. And you can read books about courage and still be cowardly, right? And you can talk about virtue, but never practice it. So it's really about picking one thing that you want to change about yourself and practicing it with some action steps, right? That it's the only way is to start. Just start small. But people get really long to-do lists. And then they don't complete them. And then they criticize themselves that, oh, I didn't do it. I failed. I'm a procrastinator. And they use all these words on themselves, which is like casting a spell on your frequency. And then you just get more of that. And then they give up. Well, it's too much. So I tell people, write a really long list of everything you want and move one of them over to the left side and only work on that until you've aced it. Right? Just
Yeah.
keep practicing until you ace it.
I love this. We're going to take a short break because there's a part 2 and 3 to this, everybody. And what is that about? You know, are you getting a clear picture of what you want? Are you clear? Do you really want it? Or did Mary tell you you wanted it?
Yeah.
Or Mary's fictitious, folks. Or Mary may have said to you, do you really want it? When we come back, we're going to talk about not just this, but how to recognize this invisible field of energy. And can you imagine empowerment? Can you imagine manifestation? And when we come back, I want to tell you how my best friend manifested a $1,500 check. And then what Brenda Lee will help us with is understanding the dynamic nature of this, because this is what she does and this is what she helps people with. See, this is not a singularity of philosophy. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about human beings, all of who we are. Before we go to break, how do people, Brenda Lee, find out more about you? Let's give them some information.
Oh, so everything's on my website, drpatattunedguidance.com. And there's, sessions and Gene Keys offerings and lifetime courses that you can take that have, practical everyday tools for the person that's working and has to go home and do laundry and grocery shopping and cook. It's 20-minute lessons to really just kind of support whatever you decide for yourself to take that first step so you're not alone. And they're really easy access, and I'm pretty proud of them. And so, yeah, everything's on attunedguidance.com.
I love it. And for those of you out there, we're going to take a short break. Here's what I want to say to you. You hear what Brenda just showed you before writing this down? I'm going to encourage you during this show to write one thing down, just one, but be absolutely clear. It's something you want, not the sense of, I really want Dr. Pat to really do that emoji. That's about Dr. Pat. But what would you want to experience? What is that thing? If you could clear the slate Like Brenda said, no guilt, no shame, no worrying about how you're going to be liked, not liked, but in your heart, want one thing. When we come back, Brenda's going to walk us through how that one thing in the invisible field around that one thing, that energy that could empower you and could create the life you want. And what is the other thing, the opposite side of that? What are we doing subconsciously, unconsciously to create the life we don't want? Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat. I'm the host of the Dr. Pat Show, and I am the creator of the Transformation Network, doing what we do in the world of positive radio, informed, educated, positive media. Independent radio hosts and independent networks have been the face of positive messaging over the past decade. So all of us here have decided we're going to put together an independent network that is going to enable people to bring their positive message of hope, inspiration, and conscious action to the forefront. Help us create a future of amazing, uplifting stories that can be told so we can tell our children and they can tell their children of what hope and conscious action is all about. I want to thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on transformationtalkradio.com.
Festa della Donna with Esther Graham honors all women far beyond a single day of celebration. Regardless of your race, gender, sexual orientation, or religion, Esther helps you rise to your full potential to live fully in God's plan and to do what you were divinely created to do. Festa della Donna offers programs that help you fulfill your dreams and desires. For more information and to get your free copy of the Festa della Donna Retreat Self.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Okay, this episode, it really is. I mean, this is a conversation that goes on and on and on, but there are some things today that Brenda Lee is going to explain because, this is about learning about ourselves. Your vibration matters. How your vibration attracts your life. See, that's a big phrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brenda Lee, we talked about a lot of different things, and, we're really at the point now where people have taken in what we've said here. And the next question is, in what ways can we recognize it is an invisible energy field, but how do we recognize this field of energy that empowers people to create the life they desire?
Yeah. So first we have to recognize that we're in an energy field. So I'm going to give you an example. Have you ever, I'm sure you have, Dr. Pat, I'm going to direct it to you because you're out and about a lot. Have you ever walked into a room when a couple has finished a fight and they're not speaking to each other and you did not witness the altercation, but the fight and the energy and the anger is present so much that when you walk in the room with your energetic field, hello, how are you guys doing? Great to see you. Everything is just sticky and gooey and you sense it. And they think because they're no longer arguing that nobody knows what's going on. That's how powerful energy is. That's happening all day, every day, with whether people are speaking up or not speaking, harboring resentment or bringing it out to the forefront through your throat chakra. And so, like, I'm really good at reading a room. My senses are all planted on what's the energy. And when people are in session with me, I literally feel everything that they're not telling me, which helps them get to the truth of the matter. Because if people don't see what they're doing, they'll never change. But most people think that they're kind of incognito and that if I'm not arguing in front of somebody, they won't know. And that's not true. People know that when they argue in front of kids, kids pick up that energy, right? And so, yeah, first of all, you have to realize that just notice in your everyday life what energy is around you. If you want to know what energy is, look at your life. You're creating it. It's happening all day, every day long. What we're inviting you here to do is to do it consciously as opposed to unconsciously.
Yeah.
That's the key.
It's really an awakening. Linda and I were looking at some things because we want to do some things, right? You know, like a vacation or la la la, like things like that, right? So put your little piggy bank aside. And honestly, I actually do have a piggy bank. So just saying, but it's a cow. And I was looking at Linda and she said, I said, what are you doing? She says, I'm doing a little prayer, a little mantra. I said, okay. Oh, what's the mantra? So she had this mantra, and this obviously was something she was thinking to manifest a dollar amount.
Yeah.
I go out and get the mail, and I come back, and there is a $1,500 check for some kind of New Jersey something or other going on about, I don't even know what it is. And she says, oh, that's what I've been asking for.
There you go.
Now, maybe a simple example, but people always ask me, are there any demonstrations you have in your life? Okay, there are many. But I would love for you to talk to folks today about this, but also more importantly, what might be the things that get in the way that may trigger us to something other than attracting what we want? Like
Yeah.
me saying, Linda, you out of your mind. Something like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
So
do that. I wouldn't do
what
that.
Linda was in the flow naturally and with intention. And whatever tool she used, a mantra, an affirmation, she set an intention for herself and felt that she was worthy of it. That's being in the flow, right? And so when people have limiting beliefs that, well, I'm going to try it, but it won't work, I never win anything, that wouldn't happen for them. So it's a practice, right? But the universe, by the way, your electricity turns on every day, your car starts, right? You go to the gas station, they have enough gas to fill up your tank and everybody else that's in line. Everywhere you're manifesting all day, but are you in gratitude of the basic essential things in your life? Or do you just take it for granted? And so this is where we come to start looking at our life from myself, not what anybody else is doing. There's no competition. There's no, they did it right, I'm doing it wrong. When we remove this and everything is divine and happening for us and not to us, then in every moment, the way I do it and the way you do it are supposed to look different. We're not supposed to argue about it. We're supposed to listen to each other and say, is there something that she's teaching me that could help me manifest a different life? Right? But we're all in resistance, and the limiting belief has power when you're in resistance. It feeds the resistance, right? And anytime you're in resistance, you're in a perfect place and time for a transformation. And a transformation just means a new awareness of yourself in the game.
Yeah. I want to ask you this question because you and I have had this conversation before, and it really does fit in here. And it's, how do we use triggers? Because they will happen, right? How do we use these triggers to understand the possibility, the potentiality as catalysts for growth, right? I mean, a trigger for me may not be the trigger for you. So we're not like generalizing this for people. But a trigger has an energy, right? So walk us through this because it's an individual energy. But you see
Yeah.
the example you used before about the relationship. I want to just make one comment on that. That scenario you laid about people having a fight, that scenario is happening in the workplace all the time now between an employee and a boss. And you come into a room, you're the
Yeah.
next person to talk, you go in a meeting, you come out of a meeting, it's everywhere. And there's a stress now being
Yeah.
statistically studied from that.
Yeah.
But again, we don't know what the trigger was from person A reacting to that. So can you talk about triggers and how they fit into the conversation we're having today about vibration?
Look, unresolved conflict within can turn into adult bullying real quick. And this isn't a criticism. This is just a fact that in the workplace, you have a lot of different personalities, and each individual person has their own personal reality, their life, their stresses at home. And then they have to come into work 8 to 10 hours a day and try to get along. And when there's unresolved conflict within, it's going to project out into the field. That person, if they're not in control of their emotion and their thoughts, and they're blaming anybody outside of them for their life, it's going to project out, which is causing conflict in the workforce, which is causing mental health issues in adults now that we've never had before. And so the call to action here is everybody just start doing a little work on yourself and forget about everybody else at work. So that's the first part. The second part is you're vibrating, a conflict, a confusion, a limiting belief about yourself that you believe to be true. And it's, you said everybody's individual. No, we're not. We're all connected, but we've separated ourselves as an individual, thinking that we're alone and I have to do it this way. We're trying to come back to we're all a collective. And if you need to clear something, if your soul says, I've learned enough about this situation, somebody in divine timing is going to come into your field with the same conflict, that same vibration to help you see yourself. This is the work. But we have to remove the other person. You have to look at them as a holographic message from the universe itself to help you clear it in you. And until you do that, Dr. Pat, you will always find fault with the other. And there is no fault with the other if there is no right, wrong, good, or bad, right? If everything happens for me and not to me, there is no fault in the other because each individual gets to choose how to live their life. And if you are in your power and you have a strong nervous system and you know who you are and you decide you're not going to slide anything under the rug and let people get away with bad behavior in your reality, you'll just constantly speak your truth. And if it triggers them, it belongs to them. It's not intentional to walk around and trigger people, but unresolved limiting beliefs automatically trigger everybody to help you, not to hurt you. And so, yeah, we're just trying to learn tools to see ourselves all day, every day. Come back to me, come back to me. How can I come back to me? What are they showing me about me? What is this showing me that I do, not them? Because they're right in their world and I'm right in my world.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about, this part that you just mentioned. I don't know if it was previously, but this idea about how to recognize this, the common signs, let's say to speak, right? Because we are calling this invisible, or somewhere we did. And, people may just not be getting it every day. They may not be seeing them. I mean, I may not have noticed the beauty of those two things my best friend said to me today. One about the 4-H fair and one about the mantra, the prayer for the money. I may have just been like so much in whatever, but I may not have had a moment to just take in that energy of that. And I can't even describe it to you, by the way. But I
Did you make
know,
a comment when she got the
no,
check? Did you make a comment, good or bad, or did you
I
say anything?
didn't.
You didn't say
I
anything.
didn't. I didn't
Did you
say anything.
celebrate it or anything?
Yeah. What I said is, wow. I said, that's amazing what you just did.
Yeah, so you believed it.
I did believe it.
You believed that
And
she manifested it.
yeah, and the comment about the kids, I cried. When
Okay,
she loves kids. And when
yeah.
she went out of her way, not to talk about the fair and the food and I mean, the million things everybody wants to talk about, or is it going to be muddy? These kids put a lot of time and energy in this to have people not show up. And I'm telling
Yeah.
you, I just was like, oh my
So
God,
you're
that
in the
is,
flow. See, you and Linda,
yeah.
you're in the flow. And so the resistance would be, we're not going to the fair. It's raining. I don't care about the kids.
Yeah.
But energy and motion is we care about the kids. We don't care about the weather. By the way, it could stop raining right when you get there, right?
Exactly.
And
I'm
so
sure she can manifest
that's
that.
not fighting resistance. Well, it's raining. I'm not going to leave the house. That's in the flow. So when you're around people in your life that are all in the flow, everything looks like magic. But if you're not in the flow, then you're around all people that are in resistance because you're attracting them. Remember, you're the magnet. You attract who you are, not what you want. And so you're going to work with people that are all in resistance. You might have one little optimistic person in the office, and everybody's going to be mad at her if they're in resistance and fear and limiting beliefs. They're always going to accuse her of being too nice and too happy and too pretty. This is what's happening, right? Because that's opposite of what they are. But if they can watch her and go, how does she show up every day so lovely and happy and smiling? She could have crisis going on at home, but if she shows up positive, she's showing them that there's another option. We're all mirrors that there's another option. What do you want? Look out into your world. It's telling you you can have it. And you keep calling it invisible. It's not really invisible as like I can't see it. I don't want to mislead people. The energetic field of the quantum is energy in motion, and it's all manifested based on your vibration. So it's not invisible, it's present, it's here. You want to know how you're doing in your life? Write down everything you don't like. Everything you don't like about yourself. And then don't blame another soul and sit with it. And let it come up and let your soul show you why I wanted to experience this, why I took you through that, what this was teaching you, what this struggle is giving you over here. But if we're all triggering each other and we're not taking a pause and stepping back and saying, okay, I don't understand this, but I know that I need to ask myself, what's within me surrounds me. What is this showing me about me? Me. The answer will always appear. It has to. It will manifest. And when you go, I do that. Oh my God, I do it. Oh my God, I do it. I do it. I've been doing it a long time. That's when you choose in the present moment, without critiquing, criticism, or guilt. Do I want to continue this? And if the answer is no, in this present moment is when you take the action step, not tomorrow, not next Wednesday, not next week, not on the next podcast or book I write. Now, today is that baby step. That's where the magic comes in the present moment.
Yeah. What role does the body play in signaling us? Right.
It's
Let's talk
everything.
about that for a minute because,
Yeah.
I mean, back hurts, head hurts, what, foot hurts, nose bleeding. I don't know.
Yeah. So whatever you're thinking about in your mind, your body believes you, right? And whatever you're not addressing, the body's holding it and kind of keeping score. It kind of is, saving it for a rainy day to get triggered, right? And so what happens is when people are in conflict, they're right fighters and somebody wants to be a winner. But when two people are trying to be a winner, there is no winner. Both people go back into their corner and back into their life, and the conflict stays within them. The vibrational match of those two people coming together was in divine time for them to work together, take a pause, breathe, right? If there's anger in your body, just tell the other person, I just need a minute. I want to breathe. Let it come up and out. Don't spit it out of your mouth. Let it come out and move through your body. It's something you've been holding probably for 20, 30 years. But when we don't see each other and not criticize each other and go, oh, she's crying. Oh, I feel that. Oh, there's something in me that's in her. And we allow this to come up and out and we witness each other in our vulnerability, in our pain. You have to love somebody in their pain as much as you love them in their laughter. It's unique to them. It's their soul's expression through the human vessel to be fully free to express yourself in every moment without being criticized by anybody, questioned, judged, right? This is what we're coming to. So anything in my world hits my body first because I'm an empath and I feel and I sense and I read the room. And I used to attach myself to it and try to figure everything out. And oh, I can help them. I have a good answer for them because I'm just a teacher. I'm a guide. And now I don't do that. I observe the room, but I still feel and sense everything everybody's going through. I just don't touch it because until they come up to me, I witness them in all that they are in that moment with grace and love and compassion. that they're uncomfortable and they're afraid to speak it. I'm not going to go tap them on the shoulder and say, you need to get this out of your system. They're not ready,
Mm.
right? We bring our attention to the ones that are ready, that want to try something new. This is where the magic happens. And then the others get to witness transformation out here. And one day they'll go, maybe I could do that too. Oh, if she can do it, I can do it.
And you know what you're talking about too is, I think we really need to bring this up, is synchronicity and how that fits in, because so often in life, I mean, you read stories, you hear stories. I don't care who it is that you read about, Walt Disney, whatever it is. I knew to paint Georgia O'Keeffe. I knew to paint this at this age of my life. Oh yeah, okay. The guy I worked with, Penzias, who discovered the Big Bang, the man knew. He knew. No evidence, no proof. He knew. And he stayed on the path until he could prove it, because in science, just knowing ain't enough. You got to prove stuff. So talk about synchronicity. And, you know, I think it's important to bring that in the last minutes we have.
Yeah, so the knowing's not enough, the studying. You've got to practice something new that you've never done before to get to the other side. It's like you play table tennis. You probably weren't great in the beginning, and now you're perfected it because you practice and you show up. So synchronicity, by the way, is showing up 100% of the time. But people only want good synchronicities. They only want the juicy angel numbers and the $1,500 checks and all this stuff. Life is neutral. So if your beacon, your signal is over here, then you're getting synchronicities. It's showing up with more fear, more doubt, more limiting beliefs, other angry people that are in conflict, that are arguing and scared of the news and politics and are talking about all that. It's a synchronicity. It's showing up because you're telling the universe, give me more of this. So it's bringing my awareness in this present moment to ask yourself that big question of, what do I want? How bad do I want it? How bad do I want it? And then take the action steps on that one thing. New synchronicities will come to support it. It's just how it works. The universe must answer you all the time, 100% of the time. You're never not getting what you want. The question is, what do you want? Because most people don't know what they want. It's surprising, but it's true. I've gone through phases of my life where I just really didn't know what I wanted, and I had to get really clear. What do I want? What do I want to experience? Knowing that the universe is going to support it because it's energy in motion and there's a cause and effect. And when I put out the cause, the new cause, there has to be an effect. It has to. It's quantum physics. What you put your energy towards amplifies and gives you more. Bad, good, or indifferent. You're the one doing it.
What a conversation. You know, Brenda, I want to ask you this last question. Let's summarize for people what we talked about. What's your closing message? What would you like to leave people with today?
Oh, my goodness. Stop taking life so seriously. It's your birthright to try whatever you want to try. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will.
Mm.
And trust the process. Stop thinking you're just a human being born into this family, in this situation, and start remembering that you are the creator of your reality and you can have anything you want if you trust and believe and you have patience and you do the work. You'll start to see your entire reality will shift. I promise you, I did it all. I did it all. I'm speaking from transforming my entire life, and I started around 47 years old. And it happened real quick for me because when I learned how you can do it, it was like there was nothing going to stop me and hold me back.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of a late bloomer myself.
It's okay. It's the
It
soul's
is
journey. The
okay.
soul gets to do it. It's all divinely. If everybody woke up all together, it wouldn't be any fun. It's in cycles and it's in, different pathways and different chapters. And so I learned that I was right on time at 47. I was right
Yeah,
on time to try something new. And now at 61, I'm right on time for a new
yeah,
chapter. You just feel it in your body. That's your truth. But people need to connect here and stop worrying about what's out here.
yeah.
That's the
I
first step.
remember Jean Houston, she was quite a joker. I miss her already. But she used to say if we all came to the place at the same time, it would be a very crowded bathtub.
Yeah, it's not designed, life is not designed that way. Life is designed perfect. You can't get it wrong. If you want
I
to stay
love it.
stuck, the universe will support it. If you want to change, the universe will support it. It's just how the universe works.
Thank you so much for today. And to all of you out there, a lot of information here. Please, we make this available for you. It'll be on TTR Network, of course, and you can go back, play it. Let us know what you want more of. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Attuned Guidance Show with Brenda Lee Matosh. Tune in every first Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on ttrnetwork.com for more soul-aligned guidance and powerful conversations. If today's episode resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on what's being awakened within you. You are the creator of your reality, and every step you take is guiding you closer to your highest expression. We invite you to awaken, create, and rise together. Be sure to like, share, and spread the message. And remember to visit attunedguidance.com to explore more ways to deepen your journey. Until next time, trust yourself, trust the process, and keep stepping into the life you're here to create. We'll see you next time.